Hey everyone, so let's get straight into it. So essentially what we'll look at today is current price action and why BTC and the current market and all markets are actually in a bit of a downtrend at the minute, in a bit of corrective phase, and maybe some targets that you might need to look out for to the downside should we break down from these key levels, okay? Likely this is maybe due to a lot of the FUD with the virus and this new variant and potential closures and businesses and all this sort of stuff, which is also affecting the S&P, which we'll also go through. Yeah, let's basically get straight into it. So, nothing much has changed since our video a couple of days ago, where we basically got these major zones up here, which is 65, 66k big supply region up here, and then we've got this major support at 46 to 48, and we're currently basically ranging in the middle there, just hugging this trend line, and basically waiting for this this pattern over here to potentially unfold. Now, what we said a couple of days ago still stands true, right? We've got this really sort of inverted head and shoulders pattern over here, which we were looking at a potential break to the upside, but we were looking for higher time frame closes at the 60k level, 59, 56k level. We never really got that, okay? And the thing that makes me a little concerned in the short term is, for the moment, what we're doing is we've tested this downtrend line over here, okay? And what that's done is we had this this test on the 30th of November. I think that was the Monday, and we tested and broke out of it, but we came straight back down and got smacked down, and that was at the that 59k region. Came down into this demand zone over here again, which we've marked out. We've had this marked out, and then we retested immediately, closed outside the trend line on a short to medium term time frame, but really, again, if you look at it on the 12 and the daily, it's basically just big wicks up. And this time we've got smashed down even harder, which tells me that there is some weakness in this area, and we do not want to go above this just yet. We failed to make any higher highs than these, like we spoke about before, and we're still macro downtrending. Since we were up here in November, okay. Obviously long-term bullish on Bitcoin and crypto, but we might be in for some pain in the short term. So now we're coming in and testing this region here. We're not getting much of a bounce here. We're looking like we're struggling. Now, should we break here, and then we'd obviously break some key areas of support, I would expect us to have a move down to 48k, okay. So currently here, if we break this trend line over here at the 55.2 level, and then we can take out this low, I do see us making a push down to the 47, 46, 48k region, which if you look to your left, you can see this is a key zone of support where I will be putting in bids to buy this dip. I still don't think that the market is necessarily over. There's nothing to particularly worry about. It's just that this correction might go a little bit deeper, okay? So we can see, if we go in, even just on the 4 hours, just to give you a clear picture, you can see these key areas over here where we've had bounces at this level, okay, multiple times, okay. So these are key levels to look out for, and the same over here back in March. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do get down here to get that a much stronger bounce than just a 10% bounce, because no one's getting out of bed for a 10% bounce on BTC, right? And that's basically the key levels that I would be looking out for. Another interesting thing to look out for, if we look at the correction in September, okay, and if we do fib extension, we actually managed to get to the 0.78, okay, region over here at the 40,000 level, which is also obviously coincided with the downtrend line, which is a really nice place to buy. And if we potentially look at this as, if we were to break down from here, potentially, okay, if we get this move down here, and then we have a look at this down here from the top here at the 59 level, that also would put us at the 46 to 47k region, and would actually give us a nice correction of about, I believe, 30 to 31% from the top at 69. So these are really key levels to look out for. And if we move over to Ether at the minute as well, we've got some big zones over here as well where we're currently just seeing a little bit of price rejection from. So we've moved up to this zone over here, and we can't really get any can't really hang out at this region, at this 47 to 49k region for a long time, and they're either big wicks, or if you look at it on higher time frame, we've got one close here at like 48. But really on the weekly you can see that there is a rejection and prices don't quite want to close down here. So you know, if Ether has been a really strong contender, but I wouldn't be surprised if this gave back some of the gains. If you look at ETH BTC, right, again, maybe we get this range bound zone in here and we just basically squiggle between here, okay, because it's been really outperforming Bitcoin. A lot of hype about it at the minute, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of push down and correction, and for Bitcoin to at least be a bit of a safer asset should we move lower. So these are the key things that you want to be looking out for, okay, and maybe hedging against. What I would be doing is with my Bitcoin position is I would be happy to sit on the sidelines at here. So that when I saw that yesterday, that wasn't something that I really wanted to see, and jump back in for part of my position at 60k if we get there, to give me some more confirmation that we want to move higher, and you know, miss out on about what, you know, 4 to 5%, 7% of the move, depending on what part of your portfolio you want to, or your trading position you want to hedge against this. So that's one way that I'll be looking at this. But yeah, Ether, if we get this move down to the next zone over here, which is the 4,000 area, we can see that after that, the next zone after that is about that 3,300 area, and maybe another one at 36, but maybe a stronger one here, support zone at 3,300, and that would also put an Ether correction, should we get down that far, at about 30%, which wouldn't be anything, you know, anything out of the ordinary, which is pretty routine. I think in September we got a correction of 34%, so maybe we do get a little bit of a downturn in price, and I won't go through some of the all of the other coins, but yeah, I would expect something similar across the board. And if we actually look at some of the other markets, traditional markets in the S&P, we have actually got a you know, a big sell-off for the moment. And maybe we basically track this trend line up here where the S&P could have made a drop of about 6%. But at the minute, this still looks fairly impulsive at the moment. So I'd look to see how traditional markets perform, because there is definitely some correlation between BTC and regular markets. So that basically kind of tells you if people are risk on or risk off. And obviously we're in this trend line at the minute, but we can very easily sort of break down from this, maybe take out some lows, create a little bit of panic. So this is really just something to look out for. And you know, plenty of times before we've been in channels where we've broke down, okay, and then we've actually managed to just resume the uptrend. So maybe for the moment we do continue to correct a little bit deeper, a little bit longer. So those are basically things to look out for, and obviously the same will be fairly true on the Nasdaq, where actually this has got a little bit more room to move a bit lower. So maybe another 10 to 15% drawdown in the crypto markets for the majors from here, quite possibly, and that's basically what I'll be looking out for on price action. So like I said, anything above 60k, great, we can start to move and take our next leg higher, but we are getting a lot of confluence for reasons we can't break above these highs. Trend line can't get any close above that. 21 daily EMA is still pushing us down, and we're actually below, especially on the daily, which is the time frame I think to be looking at the moment. Is we are below a lot of the key fib moving averages, so that is keeping us down and pushing us down. So don't be surprised if we get a little bit of a flush out, not to create any FUD or anything like that, but really that is the key levels to look out for. At the moment, I think it is a little bit of a toss up. It's a bit of a 50-50, which is currently holding this support at the that we've been holding in the last couple of weeks at the 56k region. Should this break, we can challenge this, and I don't think typically a a lot of markets, and especially crypto, I don't really think we get a lot of sort of double bottoms and double tops. You can tell that we always tend to swing, either we either shoot over them, or we basically go below them. So, you know, we got here, we came out, took out the high, over here, took out the high. We don't usually just get just double tops and double bottoms. It's never that easy, so we tend to move in waves and cycles. So that's how I would be looking at the markets. If you like the video, please give the video a thumbs up and a like. It really helps me and tells me that you want me to do more of these videos. Until the next one, let's see where we are by the weekend. Apart from that, stay on the right side of the trade, and peace out.